Yeah, I'm not so much digging the lighting. This was a recommendation by my buddy, my brother Josh, and I figure he knows better. Should have just left the normal lights on. It is daytime anyway. Don't open the curtains. Typically, I don't stay in here too long. So okay, I just wanted to chronicle, I guess, the whole process I've been going through. The gout is completely healed, but I think it's wise to never get ahead of oneself, especially when you feel like you're just out of the water and the pain is all gone and you're so thankful and grateful for that. And sometimes I think more often than not, anybody that starts to feel some sort of alleviation from symptoms that kept them down and out, and we allow ourselves to get down and out because it's what we've grown accustomed to, or we've just become not so proactive in striking while the so-called iron is hot. um, I should have damn well have gotten up and at him and attacked just as aggressively as this gout inflammation fiasco attacked me. I've come up with this idea of gout or certain things similar to it, right? It's always the result of not taking care of yourself in some shape or form. And as much as I look at it as an enemy, I think of gout as I've explained it to my mother, who, just look at the medical miracle that it is. Gout is not an infectious thing, but 2 days roughly after my treatment started to have a positive impact on myself, she gets the gout. And then, like some crazy domino effect that is beyond my comprehension, my father, who's always been the core backbone with the weight of the world, of our worlds on his shoulders, he thinks he may have COVID. I think that's the media putting too much shit in his head. However, I cursed so early. Whoopsie. And aside from the media, he's obviously, I think he has the flu. But imagine, poor anybody, poor guy. Anytime you turn on anything for entertainment, be it a streaming service, he likes to listen to the news. I wish he didn't listen to so much mainstream, but he went straight to COVID. Like the programming was pretty impressive. He went from he didn't even go through the, hey, this might be a cold or a flu. He went straight to, I gotta get tested for the vid. And I was like, whoa, slow your roll, son. Father. So right now, it has fallen onto me because I'm feeling pretty good. I can't deny it. Right now, I've, aside from the gout, which the saying I've come up with, and if you're in the chat, I just can't see anything yet. I promise I'll say hello. Things like this are like your body setting off an alarm. Okay, it's trying to tell you something. It's saying, "Look, you've taken me for granted for a while now. You're ignoring the things that you shouldn't be, and as a result, boom, here it is. It's ringing the bell, and that bell for me was a debilitating pain that kept me bedridden for four or so days. I had to crawl from, yeah, you know the story, when you're in so much pain. And to my surprise, I didn't know how common gout was and still is in our country. I didn't, what's diabetes is apparently also, like, I feel common sense logic kicking in this country. It makes sense that diabetes would be something very typical. We're not exactly known for our health in this country, and the standard of health has not been as high, I think, as it used to be. I think we used to have a higher standard, but I'm probably going to sound like some old boomer complaining on his lawn, a la Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood style. It's one of my heroes, but far be it from me. Just so I'm listening to the alarm, and I am doing my best to make sure that alarm doesn't go off. And yes, I've had to help my mother walk straight up, just the basics. When you start to lose the basics, the things that we all are able and capable of doing every day, when you start to lose that, I think we start to generate a whole new appreciation for everything, because what was once in our arsenal and fully accessible without a second thought is now no longer within reach, and it is, we're punished. So it's always humility after the punishment, right? Once you feel that the worst has come of a situation, and the situation starts to pass, you just got to be careful and not just always assume because everything is starting to get better that you are better. And that's a mistake I think we all make as human beings, as addicts. I don't believe in the term former addicts because the mind of an addict doesn't quite change. That's up to us to make the proper decisions to fight against the the terminology and the lifestyle of an addict. I know very much 12 years clean, but still taking what you know that I'm very transparent about the very minuscule Suboxone and all that and an antidepressant. Transparency is important here, even though I don't like to bring this stuff up. I think it is healthy because there's been things I've brought up on this channel that I thought was something to be ashamed of. But then I'd see, like when I mentioned Suboxone, the huge outpouring of people saying, "Yeah, me too." It just is. It's a way to be reminded, much to my surprise, in my pleasant surprise, we are so not as alone as we build up our walls in our mind to believe. And it's easy to feel so alone in the current state of affairs in the world where we're completely overconnected digitally, virtually, where I do believe the common touch, the just person to person experience is so further disconnected. I go to the comic shop, my favorite comic shop. Shout out to Tate's Comics. They said I could do a podcast there. Um, I went there, and you know, I guess some people definitely go there on their own and they want to stay with their task at hand or talk whatever with their friends. This chick was talking all loud and proud, like it was like she was in my head. She's next to me, her and her friend, they're all over the place, and they're talking about the same comic books I got. I try to insert myself in the conversation. I was ignored often enough to recognize, okay, this particular person doesn't want to speak, even though she's speaking loud enough for the whole building to hear her. But anyway, I'm just chronicling this, and I hope to keep on the uh, the whole path of progress. Because this is not me planting a flag and saying all the hard work is done. It never really ends, and I am finding a new appreciation for the health and the energy and the clarity. This is an old hat, and I don't mean to wear it as often. I do like this hat, though. Thank you to Mr. Santiago, Mr. Jason out there in Australia. You are missed. Josh and I should be back at him if Josh accepts, because I know he's been working so hard, and I had to ghost for my own health and family and well being. So where was I? I was somewhere. And then I noticed, because I looked in a little thumbnail, there's chat, and I want to go and say hello to everybody. Let's see if I can see while the thumbnail is this small. And I can say hello. So I think I see Indy's icon. Do I see Justin's? I'm not sure. But I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna assume Dux is here. Hello, Dux. Um, what the thing I just wanted to nail home though is that there is when it comes to health, there is no finish line. It's a race you will always walk, run, whatever, something that we can afford to walk. And sometimes we have to run for our sakes. And for me, it wasn't only for me. I'm glad that I've gotten to where I've gotten. And what was I going to add? Yeah, no, alcohol has had to go completely gone. The pain of the gout humbled me so much that I refused to feel it again. So I had to cut every. There's a list you're given, and there are certain things you just cannot have. So the things I've been eating so many vegetables, it's coming out of my ears. But the way I feel when I wake up in the mornings is something I can't even articulate. The energy I feel waking up used to be the hardest part of my day, but because I'm right now eating right, and I can only vouch for 5 pounds being lost within a 5 day span. Is that possible? Within 5 to maybe 7 days. I know I lost weight from 1 week to the next because of one doctor to the next. So I think I've lost maybe one or two more. It can't be too much that I've lost on top of that. But man, like it's real. It's never easy to get to where you think you want to be. But when you start to get there, then you start to slowly acclimate. And I'm learning to rediscover, I guess, what a normal functioning body should be. And there are treatments that I've put off for far too long, for years at a time, that I am now seeing doctors and specialists for. And this could be another opportunity to turn things around, at least in a from a health perspective. Your health, which is always greater than wealth. I think I put that as a title. You can't accumulate anything of substance unless you have your health, first and foremost. And just right now, I do feel very humbled. And I did tell my mother to please make a list so I can shop for the house. My father's down for the count today. He needs to rest because he's sick. I refuse to believe until he takes the test that it's COVID that he wants to so quickly say. It's just a flu. He feels feverish sometimes, the chills sometimes, but it's on and off. And just that man has always had this family on his back. And man, oh man, I gotta take as much of that weight off as possible. My mother, I've tried to get her everywhere. I tried to finagle in with my specialist because through some crazy opposite of a miracle, she ends up getting gout. Again, if it's not infectious, how she got it like that, I guess just our body's alarm went off at similar intervals. And say what you say about that. I don't know about any bond or connection while we do have one strong, but she needs me to be healthy, and I need her to keep on being here. Simple as that. And if the minor requirement for me is to take better care of myself, to take care of her, and I will raise to that occasion. It's and for no reasons of it's the right thing to do. It's what a son should do. Not to put that pressure on anybody else, given the relationships that we all go through. I was just very blessed. I use that term loosely, to have a family that have instilled the gratitude and the want to give back. So I have to check on her soon. Before I do that, let me see. Hey, Indy. Hey, Kenneth. What's up, bro? Very small gathering today, and that's okay. What's up, Maxwell? Yeah, by the way, the sickness is environmental. I'm telling you, like, I've never seen somebody's mind go so quickly from, like, it's literally cold or flu symptoms. Nothing too exaggerated and crazy. But the way he so quickly went to, I got to get tested for COVID, was like, whoa, man, cart before the horse. So he's resting right now. This is his second day to do so. I hope he doesn't have to work again too soon. But yeah, I guess I'm very humbled. Hey, bass girl, what's up, girl? Damn, Kenneth, it is good to see you, partner. Haven't seen you in a hot minute, brother. And if I missed you, then my well wishes to you and the family, to your wife. I hope everybody's doing super well. Bass girl, I think you'd be proud of me, darling. I think you would. I just went on a whole diatribe about my own self care and well being, and the humility that has kind of been a necessary awakening of recognizing just how unhealthy I was, and not just like the big things that we all advertise. Oh, I drink. Hey, Angel Wings, I see ya. During well, fantastic. It was meant to be. Um, the hold on. What was I saying just now? All right, so for my own well-being, I forget what I was saying. I'm reading comments. I'm allowed to do that. Oh, it was me talking to Base Girl. Yeah, there is a certain awakening that occurs, and I have to hold on to this one. Like the last time that I made a big thing of making an announcement. Oh, I'm gonna quit drinking, and that was a mistake because I put unneeded pressure on myself. And then when you do it and you announce it, and you like, are you doing it for yourself? It's just like giving charity while you're recording. You start to lose sight of the actual reason that you get into anything. Recovery teaches us it's okay to be selfish, especially when it comes to something as important as our health. So I had to step back from the artificial way back when, and that's just another example of what I've done again. And where am I at? I need to, what? While we're live, real quick, let me check so I have a real idea of when I stopped everything and went on this whole cleansing detox esque diet where I'm just, I'm not. I even kicked out soda, and that I made a personal vow to myself, a stupid one, years ago, that I would always drink ginger ale and root beer. But right now, they're just cold in the fridge, untouched. Let me check my community posts right quick without accidentally ending the live. Wow, it is really impressive how differently I feel. Like just real time. Like I sometimes I know I'd come on here manic, but I feel so much more right now just in control, a very healthy clarity, man. It's really a trip, to be honest, nothing short of it. All right. Oh, and do check out Mad Shad. I did share that was the 1 day ago post. Time goes slow when you're kind of in isolation mode. Time goes so slow. My health, my sleep schedule, I had to beat it into submission, and I'm happy to report for the past 3 days, I have been able to have a full old man sleep schedule. I go back to work tomorrow, so no rest for the weary, no, or whatever the wicked, whatever the saying goes. And I'm glad I'm going back to work. I think I've spent enough time taking and tending to myself, and I got to get back out there. Before I go, I am dropping my mother off at urgent care. It's just like taking her to the hospital because we can't get a hold of any specialists or or her primary doctor, which she kept defending. So let's see. Okay, okay. Now I know. See, it's crazy. In my head, it feels like it's been like a month, but I knew that wasn't reality. So it's accurate to say about just 8 days, man. Wow, just one full week that I've had zero alcohol, and that I've been on this cleanse and this diet. I got beet juice here, and luckily for me, I'm one of the people that likes beet juice. I've been drinking a ton of cherry juice, black cherry juice. Someone's texting. Hold on. Hold up. Let's do some real time and live checking out. That might be my mother. I did tell her to give me the signal. Let's see. Let's see live. Oh, it's my boy. It's Josh. I forgot what it is. Oh, okay. Damn. So no show tonight. You're learning it here first. Stuck in the middle, by the way. And I know, you know what? I'm so glad there's some things that you don't have to face things that you don't want to, but some individuals will try to insert themselves in any shape or form, be it positive or negative, and make it nearly impossible to not avoid. You can always avoid things, but I prefer to deal direct. And yeah, nobody is owed any power that we may want to give them over us. I hope we are all able to identify our own self worth, recognize and look at our own stories as they've unfolded. If you've made it up to today years old, you're a fighter, you're a warrior. So if you see something, take it upon yourself, do yourself the favor, and deal with it as you see fit, and let nothing else on the outside take influence or have influence over how your very capable self can and should deal with anything that comes your way. So, all right, I gotta respect Josh, who's always been ready to work and do more for Stuck in the Middle and podcasting in general. I watch a lot of Bobby Lee. Bad Friends is probably my favorite podcast. It's the only podcast I watch from the beginning to end, and that has Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I unaffectionately am reminded of myself through Bobby Lee. Andrew Santino reminds me of Josh, and their last episode was titled "Sleep the Sadness Away, comma work the uh, overwork to work the pain away." This was a line given mid podcast of Bobby Lee explaining how he deals with his own monsters, depression, and whatnot. He's 52 years old, and only recently has he been saying he's finally found it, that it is his happiness, and then that's a strong example, an inspiration to me. I can think of how old or how young I am and let that work against me, or I can allow myself to say, you know what, there is no, we're working at our own pace. It's not, we don't have an infinite amount of time, but we do have some areas that we have control over. And in a world where we have to accept all the things, the many things that will never be within our control, and hopefully we fight as a unit to get some control in terms of, I don't know, legislation, government, who knows. I refuse to believe it's a pipe dream. Can we, I don't know, tend to ourself in a better manner? I hope I made sense there. So yeah, Bobby Lee tends to do less, and Andrew Santino thinks that's him being lazy, but that's Bobby Lee's way of just doing, I guess, his bare minimum and uh, do enough to make some sort of money to where he can afford to do things at his pace, and I respect that. And while Santino's way is to stay busy, so it does, as he put it, doesn't catch up with him. That he's kind of running from the stagnation is what creates his monsters, and I can empathize with both methods. Although for me, trying to sleep my sadness away goes really bleak and dark. Wow, what a journey this past week has been, I'll tell you. Did I already share that I went ahead and watched more movies than any human being should? But that's, I need to make a kind of an announcement. And my concern is that the page, the channel has never really had a good direction. And that is a reflection though of me and my mind and how it operates. It has really no structure, something I'm gonna be working on. And I'm proud to right now. I think I can start managing. I won't get ahead of myself, but I'm feeling good, and I'm gonna keep rolling with the punches there. More text messages. Okay, we'll deal with that in the future. What was I saying? I swear I was onto something, but okay. So I identified my timing there. And what's up, Mr. Justin? Actions, not distractions. Good to see you too. So I've yet to do the open panel where I wanted to talk about health, mental health, and addiction. Yeah, with the clarity, I've been really thinking about the dreams that I have, and last night was a mixture of disturbing and weird, but it just makes sense that some of the people that were in said dream were there. If that, I'm sure it makes sense if you think about it. If you've had a dream, I'm sure you can empathize to some degree. Like just one of my old bosses from way back when, she was her character role in the dream is just the last thing I'd ever expect. So I woke up kind of like, huh? But all right, with that, let's see. Okay, I'm seeing my peoples, which you are. Time flies. That's something that I kind of always have been facing. How much time does fly, and it can be something that's very, very frightening. And it's contingent upon us to not be terrified and to let it serve as some sort of a motivator. And I gotta not think about the past in such a way where it's almost like I'm mourning the past uh, as further away as it gets. You gotta be in the present. You can appreciate and have nostalgia for your past, but you can't just covet it like it's ever gonna come back. Have to come to terms with, yeah, the you that you were when you were in your younger years, that is gone. Now it's time to build what you're going to be for the rest of your life, and that starts with planting the seed of today. So let me see. Thank you, base girl. I don't try to be, but if anything, I do try to rescue myself and definitely trying to help my family because I know I can. Let me see what Maxwell's been saying. I've been dying to speak to Maxwell, and I've been procrastinating that. Let's see. I don't have X, by the way, aka Twitter, aka X. It's a ridiculous thing to me, even though I can get on a whole diatribe about Elon Musk. That's me. I'm the rant guy. I can find a topic and just go with it. Please forward it to me. You got. I think you have my number. You can send anything direct. You can email. Tonight, I'm gonna catch up with emails that have been sent to me via here, and just see a lot of y'all that have still been reaching out, and that's always so positive. I love reading Maxwell's insights. Over a 7-year period, every cell in the body is replaced. You're quite literally not the same person you were. See, I love these insights, man. I have to call base girl. I definitely. It's what? Yeah, we're both Virgos. I'm on the cusp though. I'm September 22nd, so I'm a Virgo and a what is that, Libra or something? Didn't I have that golden book I bought for the channel way back when and read all that stuff? So without a doubt, okay, you know what? Let's make it Let's make it a thing. These are the people that I need to call first and foremost. I'm going to put P for private and Maxwell. Yeah, I need to call Maxwell and let him know I just want to go live with him, to be honest. I had a awesome conversation with him once, I think, when he was playing an online game where I think his friend was. That was like the first time we spoke. I hope I'm not confusing you with Zanzin, but okay. Mm, sorry for the shaking. I'm writing. And Maxwell, see, I'm learning since I've been calling so many different doctors, places, and insurance holders, and blah, 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 and all this. I've been needing to take more notes. So I'm going to make one of the responsibilities of maintaining communications with the people that have been so, you guys have just been so absolutely important to me. And I need to actually show that instead of just singing it, right? So I'm going to take a shot of my beet juice here. I freaking love beet juice, which is a massive bonus. Oh, I got the beet smile. Thank you for calling me a beacon, although I am not somebody I would recommend for anybody to aspire to being. But I do have an appreciation for speaking and articulating everything that I perceive and figuring out a way to get that out so it's understood and shared. And that's why I think having a microphone, a channel, a camera are such blessings. But before those blessings come the immediate blessings, like tending to my mother and father that need me right now. And with that being said, I'm going to check on the list I asked my mother to make because I need to shop for the whole house before I return to work tomorrow, before I drop her off at urgent care and make sure she gets checked in because I cannot see her being bedridden as long as she has allowed herself to be, as long as we have all allowed ourselves to be. That there's some level of accountability, responsibility that has to be taken. And she's just, now it's going in both feet. You know, if it is gout, I assume it's gout. She's losing her ability to walk almost entirely. I have personally let her, and it's time to get her out of here and get proper care. She has not been able to do anything more than get from the bed to the bathroom and back, and then she's exhausted. Sorry, I'm kind of keeping it low here, but big love, one and all, even those in the background in the bushes. I appreciate everybody, and I'm gonna get back to getting back and get on with the getting on. Y'all take care, and I will say, screw it. Let me publicly make myself accountable. Base girl, it may be brief, but when I call, just remember it's not gonna be an exceptionally long conversation, but we're gonna have a chat, like a spot of tea. That's a British thing. I don't know, a New Zealand thing. We're gonna have a chat, and Maxwell, I just want to. I'd like to generate a plan with you, brother. I just think you're an absolutely intelligent being, and I'd love to see you speak more. You know, I'm surprised you don't have more activity on your channel, which I have to check for myself. And everybody, that's that. Angel Wings and all you good folks, and to the rewatch crew, peace be with you. Make it happen. I love the juicing. No, it's just massive bonus. Babs Bunny, great to see you. I just caught you before I hit the end live, and you make me grateful because I know where we may like see things differently, but we're still able to stay connected on a basic level. And that means a lot to me. That means, oh, Cindy D, my son's life mattered. See, right before y'all gotta show your names right before I hit the button. I can't say goodbye after I see you. Much love to you, Babs Bunny. Knowing that we've been able to stay connected even after everything, and knowing that we may not see things the same is an example of one of the fundamental reasons that I went on this journey in this channel and made the name I made, because I always believed that unity is possible and that human beings were more capable of beauty than we're led to believe. Our cynicism can easily overtake us, the talking heads and all the negativity is so much easier to sponge up, absorb, and then start preaching and regurgitating that. But when you stand and start to go against the tide because you have the perseverance to do so, because you recognize that you are a survivor, because you are today years old, and that everything just in the background is never as important as what you think you can achieve. I truly believe that there is a future as long as we can strive for that that unity, no matter what our differences are. And there, with religion and politics and all the things that they say, We should not have these conversations in mixed company. We cannot shut down the path to dialogue. That's what I live for, dialogue. Okay, that's the last of it. Babs, I hope we can also catch up at some point. Cindy D, you're like my second mama. You already know. Later, guys. Probably back tonight, I hope, but don't hold me to it because I'm taking care of a lot. Take care of yourselves.